Welcome to Shanti Edwin's channel, where purpose blooms and hearts embrace. Be encouraged, empowered, strong and free, walking in God's truth and destiny.
Parenting doesn't end when our children grow up. It's just a shift to a new phase. And to be honest, that's not easy. What if your children don't respect you? What if they blame you and find faults with you for every mistake that happens in their life? And on the other hand, what if you have a parent that tries to control you even though you're a grown-up? If you are wrestling within yourself with these kind of questions, you are not alone. Today, we are going to talk about the relationship of parents and grown-up children from biblical point of view. Today, many parents and grown-up children, they don't have the wonderful, beautiful relationship they can have. You know, there are many kids that they are always blaming their parents, finding faults, a lot of disrespect. They don't care. They don't even care to call them or visit their parents. And that's the situation in today's world. You know what the Bible says? The Bible says in Ephesians chapter 6, from verse 1 to 3, if you observe, it says that children, respect your mother and your father, and that's the first commandment. And then there's a promise that comes with it. Then everything will go well with you and you will have a long life. That's the promise for all the children that are going to respect their parents. And the parents are also not off of the hook either, because there are parents who try to control, manipulate their children's life, even though the children are grown up and they can make their own choices and decisions. And for them in Ephesians, the same chapter of Ephesians 6 in verse 4, the Bible is telling that, fathers, do not exasperate your children. Train them in the way they should grow in the Lord. You know, one mother said that she has a daughter in 30s. You know, this daughter was very disrespectful, and she was very harsh and cruel with her words that she uses towards her mother. And her mother's heart is broken. And usually the mothers or the fathers, they become very defensive when children try to find faults with the parents. So in the same way, this mother became very defensive. But what happened was the gap between the mother and the daughter started growing bigger and bigger and bigger. One day the mother realized her mistake and she thought that, let me humble myself, let me come down. And she humbled herself. And then she started speaking to her daughter gently. And not only that, she asked for an apology. Once this happened, you know, it did not fix the issue immediately, but it gave a good conversation between the mother and the daughter. And once there was a father whose son asks him for money all the time, and the father keeps giving the money all the time because of his love. And one day, you know what the father said? Son, your dad's bank is closed. There's no more money you can draw from your dad's bank from tomorrow onwards. And naturally, you can imagine the reaction of the son, right? He's very mad. He's furious. He started hating his father. But slowly, you know what he learned? He learned to take responsibilities of his own life. And that became a turning point for him. And after a few years, he became a very successful man. And today, if anyone asks him, he tells that he owed that to his father, who said that you cannot draw from your father's bank anymore. Though that day was a very hard day for both the father and the son, it became a beautiful day in a sense that it's a turning point for the son to have a great life. So what is the biblical principle here? The biblical principle is children, when they are young, when they are in your own nest, they obey the parents. But when they grow up, they need to honor the mom and dad forever. That's the principle there. That's what the Bible said. And parents, we should know how to leave our children at some point in our lives, right? We cannot control them forever. You know, maybe if it's a health or a safety issue, you can interfere, but not for everything. Before I close, I want to tell two things, one for parents and one for children. As parents, let us make sure that we don't criticize or nag our children or say negative things towards our children, because there is power in the words we say towards our children. Bless your child every day. That will turn into a great blessing. If we keep talking negative about our children, that can turn into curse. So parents, please make sure you bless your children every day. And for children, I want to tell you that always remember, it doesn't matter how big you are today or how successful you are today. Remember the sacrifices your parents did when you were a child. Remember the prayers they prayed for you when you were a child. And also remember the victory chants and the cheers they did when you are growing up. Today, what you are is because of their sacrifices and their prayers. And I hope that listening to these words will strengthen your relation between parents and grown-up children, and God will bless you abundantly. And if you are blessed with this short message, make sure you subscribe and share with others.
Shanti Edwin's channel.